Do the speech.
Let's stand on it, Chris.
A best man speech should be like a miniskirt. Short enough to be interesting, but long enough to cover the bare essentials.
Oh my gosh.
With that in mind, Bradley Robert Clark, the man, the legacy. That's all I got.
Oh, as per the community.
I'm now going to tell you the story of how Amy and Brad came together. Only it will be told from my perspective, and it will not be entirely accurate. To understand Bradley Clark, we're going to have to go and travel back in time. Back in time to Brad's kindergarten years at Olson Elementary. He had just walked into the new classroom, he stared off into the distance, and there, right in front of him, next to the Duplo blocks, was a young girl.
Duplos. They're like
Brad instantly knew he had met the girl of his dreams, Amy Bonison. At a time when most of us would have been more preoccupied with coloring books and eating glue, a young Bradley Clark was plotting. At the young age of 6, Bradley was wise beyond his years and knew that now was not the time to propose. Oh no! I mean, he wasn't financially stable yet, he wasn't self-sufficient, he was still living with his parents. I mean, there was a lot of things he had to work through. So instead, Bradley spent the next 20 years developing the perfect strategy to ensure that Amy would one day be his wife. Instead of going to a normal elementary school like everybody else, Brad followed Amy by attending Spanish immersion school. When most of us were out at recess playing tetherball, foursquare, and kickball, Brad was plotting. Brad was honing his craft, learning Spanish, the language of love, a tool that he knew would become most valuable in the future wooing of Amy. When young Bradley got home from school, did he go out and play with his friends?
No.
He did not. Brad was still plotting. He would instead watch Star Wars trilogy over and over and over again. In order to win Amy's heart, he knew that it was imperative that he had to be able to impress her with his mind. He had to be knowledgeable enough to answer the tough questions. Tough questions like, who is Lando Calrissian's co-pilot in the Millennium Falcon in the attack on the new Death Star?
Who is it?
9 US? That is right. Now, once Brad had reached the point where he knew all there was to know about Star Wars, he realized that perhaps he had made a mistake in putting all his eggs in one basket. Maybe he had needed to diversify. I mean, there was a distinct possibility that Amy didn't really care about Star Wars at all. So teenage Bradley, as smart as he was, decides that he must do an activity that was a possibility where he actually might see Amy, the object of his desire. Amy being the high school cheerleader that she was, Brad decided to play basketball with the hopes that she would one day cheer for him and be impressed by his athletic prowess. In addition, teenage Bradley also knew that the one thing that impresses women more than anything else is consistency. So day and night, Bradley practiced free throws. Yes, I said free throws. If Armstrong and Falcons basketball team needed a three-pointer, Bradley was not your man. But if they needed a free throw at a crucial moment in the game, Bradley was your guy. So much so that, well, Bradley asked me not to bring this up, but he was the Armstrong Falcons all-time free throw percentage leader.
a very long tape.
So let's fast forward to 2008. Bradley's plan that he had hatched way back in kindergarten was finally ready to implement. The time to strike was now. He was armed with the ability to woo her in a foreign language, the ability to impress her with his Star Wars trivia knowledge and lightsaber skills, and the ability to shoot free throws with alarming accuracy. In Brad's mind, he had executed the three-pronged attack to perfection. All there was left to do was ask Amy out. And when he did, Amy had no choice but to agree to date Brad. I mean, what girl could pass that up? This ends the story of how I think Amy and Brad came to be. So, to be serious for the last few seconds of the speech, I would like to say that Brad has been a great friend of mine. We were best buds in high school, whether it was running cross country, playing basketball, or somehow avoiding getting into trouble with all the stupid things that we used to do. We always had a great time. Brad's home was like a second home to me, and Brad's parents, Bob and Carla, were like second parents to me. And although Brad and I had lost touch a little bit in our college years, when we moved back to Plymouth and after graduating college, we picked up where we left off. We shared the common struggles of trying to find a job in a not-so-good job market, and we also made the smart decision of buying a condo together in downtown Minneapolis, and we were both making barely any money. But it all worked out in the end, and those couple years were pretty great. So now that we're moving into a new chapter of your life, and that's good because if you had lived in the Crossings with me much longer, people would start to assume things about us. And that's weird because I already have a wife, so. And Amy, you're a beautiful and kind person, and you also have the patience of a saint to be able to deal with Brad's antics. And he's lucky to end up with a girl like you. I think the world of you both, and wish you both the best of luck. So, glasses to Brad and Amy.